The latest trailer for Splatoon 3's second paid downloadable content, Side Order, dropped during the latest Nintendo Direct. While we got clarification on things we predicted before, this trailer focused a lot more on the gameplay side of things. Instead of going in on all the smaller details, we are focusing on 4 big takeaways that we got out of this second trailer. Number 1. Side Order is a roguelike? Okay, this might sound like a big claim, but we have some evidence. For starters, let's hear what Shinya Takahashi, the head of software at Nintendo, has to say.
We are developing this single-player DLC so it can be played over and over again.
From the first things we've been observing, that seems to line up with how the gameplay works. Side Order takes in the Spire of Order, one of the things we covered when the first trailer released. Every floor seemingly brings a challenge of varying difficulty, challenging both newcomers and veterans alike. While we can't say for sure if these floors change on each run, we get an indication that they do. Nintendo of Europe's tweet states, "This tower seemingly defies the laws of nature. Each time you enter, the layout changes." The word here is layout. Does the location simply change, or does it change every aspect of the floor? We'll have to wait and see. In addition, the palette also shows how individual runs can alter over time. On this palette, the player will receive a new chip after accepting a challenge on a new floor. These chips will change the way you will interact with your character. It is similar to the abilities available on your gear in multiplayer, but it goes much deeper with multiple nodes available for each individual statistic. For example, you could focus on power where ink damage, splash damage, and main firing rate dictate your strength. We see this in action during the trailer, where different damage numbers are shown. On the flip side, you could go deep in mobility and increase the speed of your running, for example. With various difficulties available, players can adapt the experience to their own liking. It isn't hard to imagine that each difficulty has its own slew of particular challenges to complete. Once again, we don't know to which extent they are regulated, but with titles in place, they might not be fully random. For that, we'll have to wait and see. What we know for sure is that these levels offer up the usual Splatoon tropes with armor boxes, crates, canned specials, and ink rails. 2. Side Order. Faster, better, stronger. One of the bigger standouts in this trailer were the changes made to Inkopolis Square. While it looked nice in its white and lifeless aesthetic, there wasn't much in the way of contrast. That has been significantly altered in the beginning of the second Side Order trailer, where the dead coral has grown far more wildly and the details of the buildings pop out a tiny bit more. Another big change is how the entrance of the building has been completely altered, with it being moved a bit to the back. That change alone makes the entrance a bit more harrowing, but the glitch effects seen throughout the trailer are also projected onto the building. With knowing all of that, do you really want to enter? Well, if you insist. The inside looks as colorless as we predicted, but the sci-fi influences are immediately noticeable. You basically glitch in at the respawn point with your weapon following immediately after. We also see an entire wall of glitches, almost like something out of the Matrix. What does it all mean? It's hard to say for now. 3. Return of 8, and Pearl is a drone? On both of the official Japanese website for Side Order and Nintendo of Europe's Twitter page, the main character is said to be named Agent 8, or 8 for friends, seemingly one and the same from Octo Expansion. If this rings true, then that basically means the character you made in the previous story expansion is returning. Both forms are holding a unique weapon, that being a new set of dualies and the Splatana Stamper. The dualies, as we see later in the trailer, are equipped with curling bombs and the Reef Slider. You know who else was also in the Octo expansion? That's right, Off the Hook. After all, we did see Pearl and Marina in the first teaser trailer for Side Order. While we don't see Marina in this new trailer, outside of her logo being on some of the cans, we do see Pearl. Sort of. Pearl appears as a drone in the adventure, guiding the player to its next destination and helping in combat. Now, we might be rightfully thinking, okay, but that really isn't Pearl, right? It's just a drone she's likely controlling elsewhere. Yeah, no. According to, once again, the Japanese website and European Twitter, this is Pearl, who has taken the form of a drone. So either her mind was transferred into a drone, or her squid form is stuck in a drone's husk. Either way, oh dear. At least she packs a punch in combat, allowing her to use bombs and shoot lasers from her eyes. Plus, she can be thrown by the player and sort of act like how Little Buddy did in the main campaign. Hey, we'll take that help. 4. The Deadfish Connection. One of the artists in Splatoon 2 was a character called Deadfish. With her green skin, It was clear that she is a sanitized Octarian, which are enemies that played a vital role in the Octo expansion. Unlike her counterparts, she can think of her own accord and is able to express herself. Her origins were shrouded in mystery, and it seems that Deadfish will play a role in Side Order. You and Pearl run into her at the elevator, where Pearl basically wants you to attack her. Deadfish, or Act as she is really called, exclaims that she is just a bystander that also got sucked into this world. Act, which is 8 translated from German, explains that she and Marina go way back and basically hands you your first pallet chip. The big question is, can we really trust Act? Deadfish seems innocent enough and even helps you make your first steps, but there's something weird going on. The main enemies in Side Order are these dead fish. An Act's synonym is dead fish, and the fact that we just traveled through dead coral to get to the destination with these said dead fish. Maybe it is us looking way too much into things, but there's certainly some sort of connection in play here, right? Furthermore, the main villain in Octo Expansion, Commander Tartar, made the sanitized Octarians to basically zap all life out of them. With his plans thwarted and the underground facilities destroyed, could he perhaps have survived the fall? We do see a shot of a boss near the end of the trailer. It has sanitized ink and glowing eyes all across its body. While it could certainly be the work of a new villain, the interplay here seems too much to ignore. At minimum, it is a hefty weapon with ink torpedoes on the sides of the boss's body. And that is all we wanted to point out about the upcoming Splatoon 3 Side Order DLC. Is there anything else worth pointing out? Let us know in the comments. For more on Splatoon 3 and other things gaming, keep it locked to GameXplain. Thank you for watching, and see you later. Bye bye.